What up, what up? Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. On this show, we talk about crowdfunding. And today, I got a Kickstarter campaign for you that is a six-figure success story. This is for the AUDRIC SeaBorne rugged tool watch for enthusiasts. It is also Swiss-made, which is really freaking cool. And I kind of wanted to share with you in today's episode how, number one, this campaign was funded in less than 18 minutes. Wow, crazy, right? Not only that, but how they were able to build a quality product. And finally, I think this is a good example of how if you have a successful business already, or you have a business that's at least making a little bit of money, and you want to kind of go into like an expansion of a new area, this is a good case study of how an entrepreneur was able to do that. So this individual, successful guy, he has his own business and stuff like that. I think it's like a hiring kind of talent finding company. And he decided he wants to get into something completely different. Like our entire life, we do something to make money. And then you finally realize you want to do something that's a little bit more aligned to your passion. So he decided to launch this new product on Kickstarter, which is for a really luxury, beautiful looking watch. Watches are something I'm also just like fanatical over. I have a bunch of watches, like way more than I need. But they're so sexy, right? They're beautiful. I love nice watches, nice cars, all the things that a red-blooded American male loves. But when it comes to this is a good example of how if you already have a business, there's no reason why you can't launch a Kickstarter campaign to launch an entire new brand that is maybe unrelated to what it is that you do for your full-time job, or that's unrelated to what you do for your business, your other business, right? So I think a lot of the times we have this like a desire to do something more aligned to our passion, and like, I don't know if I should quit my job. I don't know if I should do that considering I have another business. Like what happens if it doesn't work out? The cool thing about Kickstarter is you can now try it out and you can see if there is demand out there for this product or not. And based off of that knowledge, you can then go the next step, which is, okay, now we got to get this product out there into the hands of people. Now we got to set up a real business, and we got to do marketing and e-commerce and, go down that kind of a route. But once you find that out from a successful Kickstarter campaign, it's a lot easier because like you already have the validation, the success, the customers are out there. You've already got a bunch, now just you need a couple of more in order to really grow this into a sustainable brand and a sustainable business. So I think you'll get a little bit of those lessons here today with today's podcast episode. Also, one of the things you should be aware of is I also do a YouTube channel under my same name where you can learn a little bit about some of the crowdfunding stuff I do with Kickstarter, Indiegogo. I also do a blog, crowdcrux.com. And also I have a book out there called The Kickstarter Launch Formula, which is available paperback via Amazon and also on Audible, and that's crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter audio will take you to the Kickstarter launch formula. And finally, I got a forum out there for you called kickstarterforum.org. This forum has a bunch of members. I think we're at like 8,000 or 9,000 now, where you can go and you can interact with other people that are part of my community. That being said, let's dive right in and get into today's podcast episode and learn how this entrepreneur was able to launch a six-figure campaign coming up right after this. This podcast episode is sponsored by The Gadget Flow. The Gadget Flow reaches over 28 million people, and they've been around since 2012. They are Indiegogo and Kickstarter experts. They featured over 5,000 crowdfunding campaigns, and if you have a technology or design campaign, it is a great platform to generate awareness and get backers. You can check them out at thegadgetflow.com/submit and list your project today. Akshay, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Salvador.
Can you tell listeners what was your role in the project here?
Okay, the project went on like this. The idea came to me when I wanted to buy a watch. So I went to a store to buy a watch, and it was pretty expensive with all the, with all the kind of materials involved in that. And then I started to, think that we should make something very affordable. So that's a basic thing of starting this Kickstarter campaign.
And when it comes to your role, are you also doing like the marketing and these kinds of things? Did you design the watch or? Okay.
Yes. Okay. My role is basically the designing the watch, talking to the suppliers, visiting the factory and, convincing them that this could be a real good model. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to Kickstarter campaign, the page was designed by me. I mean, I took a lot of inputs from others, and then I designed the page. The marketing was done when we talk about marketing, the email list was built with the help of another gentleman who was helping us with the creation of landing page as well as with Facebook ads. That was a pre-launch campaign. And
And
then, yeah,
and you're
and
based
then
out of India, right?
yes, we are based out of India. So for this project, basically, Kickstarter doesn't allow Indians to launch it. Basically, they have got their own specification in terms of location and other things. So we had to register a company in Singapore with along with my partner, and then that's how it went. From the concept to the idea, and then that's how it started.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Is crowdfunding like something that's going on over there in India at all?
Yeah, we have crowdfunding, but Kickstarter doesn't work. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's due to certain regulatory issues, but Kickstarter is not available in India. I mean, you can purchase something from sitting from here, and you can log into Kickstarter, buy a product, and all that stuff. But you cannot, as a creator, you cannot launch anything on that platform.
I love your video. It looks really high quality, very professional. Looks really
Yeah,
neat.
thank you. Thank you so much. I used my brother's friends. They are basically into video editing and video creation. They are just passed out of college. They're around 25 years of age, maximum 20 to 25 years of age. He
Wow.
came up to me and said, yeah, he came up to me and said, see, we will do a video like this. This is the concept. This is the script. And we are going to pan the camera like this and all. I'm new to, I don't have any knowledge about videography or photography, but he tried to explain certain things to me. I said, it's your call. I mean, whatever you feel is good, you can go along with it. And I
Yeah.
also gave him certain, ideas. I told him, you look at this video, which is around Kickstarter, this video, we are actually competing with them. You can take certain cues from there and you can work on it. So that's what that is how it happened. And this video was shot in a garage. So
Wow.
basically,
It's really
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah, it was, and there's so much of dust all around and stuff like that. We had to find a place. I was working on a very low budget, so that's how it went. Because I had invested a lot of money on my prototypes. I had to get two prototypes done. Close to around 10, 12 watches, which costed me around $10,000. Uh, so
Yeah, that's a lot. That's sizable.
yeah, yeah. So that's how it went on.
Have you done like a company before? Is this your first company? Have you created products
Uh,
before?
No, I'm basically into leadership hiring. I've got 19 years of experience. I run a business which is based in India, which is called a Spearhead Talent Advisory. I hire for sales directors and regional managers and country managers. And all. I work with most of the Fortune 500, which includes most of the US companies like EMC, Dell, Hitachi Data Systems, and NetApp, and all. I work with Oracle. So I hire for them on the leadership scale, with somebody who drives business in a multi-million dollar scale.
And
So that's
basically, yeah, and in your experience also, I think watches actually play a lot into business. Like you feel so much more confident and you feel so much better when you're wearing a nice watch.
absolutely. People look at your watch and your shoes. When you go for a meeting or something, your hand moves a lot. Okay, so basically, they look at something. I mean, they look at your hand and they see a watch, and it gets attracted. Nice colors, nice design, and the quality also matters.
You had seen some of these other projects, I imagine, on Kickstarter, and then you come with your own. What did it feel like the day before you went live, or shortly before? What was that feeling
Yeah.
like?
See, I was pretty tensed, honestly. We did a lot of pre-launch activities. Something like working with Instagrammers. There were a couple of Instagrammers, very good Instagrammers, who are giving me feedback all the time. And then we worked with the bloggers. We sent out our prototypes to them, asked them what is the feedback they can give to us, because they're all horology experts, and we always hear our customers and the people who are experts in their fields to give us some kind of information where we can better the product. So that was the one. That was what we did, and pre-launch activities were also doing email, gathering emails to landing pages and doing Facebook ads. When it comes the day before the launch, I mean, I was pretty tensed. I was confident, but that it was very anxious a lot of anxiety creeping in. So that's how it was. And I was talking to my family, and they said, no, nothing is going to happen. You're doing good and all. My wife was just beside me when I launched it as well, and it just took off. We got funded in 18 minutes flat. That was an awesome experience. God's grace, we did well.
Yeah, definitely. You can say it's all because she was by your side there, right? The lucky charm.
No, yeah, she was there by my side, but it's all God's grace. I would give that credit.
When it came to the pre-launch, what would you say was the most effective and the least effective of the activities you
Um,
did?
I feel the Facebook ads was the least effective because I'll tell you why. You do it properly, it is going to be the best. But what happened is, our watch is basically in the segment where you have a lot of competition, that is $600 and all that stuff. So I think we should have mentioned the price of the watch when we were doing some ads, because when people used to come to our landing page, we had not mentioned the price anywhere. So I got close to around 4,500 leads, close to 4,500 leads from Instagram, from bloggers, from YouTubers, and as well as Facebook ads, and running on groups, Facebook groups also. But what happens is, when we don't discuss about the pricing, sometimes, we don't discuss about the pricing. So, that was the least effective kind of a thing, which I think, would have been better if we had discussed about the price or mentioned the price on the landing page. And the most effective part of it is Instagram. Having the right influences matters a lot, and I had the best influences. They were very, very accommodative in terms of the work what I asked them to do. Posting pictures and talking about the watch and all that. Instagram was really, really good. I have most of the backers are from Instagram. Out of the 115 or so, I mean, quite a few are from the Kickstarter. I mean, somebody who's always backing projects on Kickstarter. And apart from that, you have a couple of percentage from Facebook groups, which is very negligible.
When it came to Instagram, do you think it was having influencers post on your behalf, or was it your Instagram page that was driving most of these pledges?
So basically, I sent the watches across to 4 Instagrammers based in US, and they used to post the images. They used to they used to post their own images of the watch, and then they used to tag the Instagram page of AUDRIC watches to the post, wherein it used to get diverted. People used to come and like it, and they used to converse with us. There were a lot of messages which got exchanged in the meanwhile, asking what is the quality of the watch and all that. And that's how it happened. We got introduced to new proper creators also. I mean, watch creators.
Yeah, definitely.
So I used to ask them also, how is it gonna be? What are the necessary things I need to do for a successful campaign? That's how it went.
Interesting. I think for your category also, I mean, you have a fashion kind of a product. Like, people like to see it being worn by other people that they think are fashionable, right?
Yes, sir.
So it makes a lot of sense to me why that would work. It is kind of disappointing though to see that your email list didn't convert as well as you wanted.
Yeah. That's the most disappointing thing, because actually we were supposed to launch in the month of April, but due to COVID situations, what we did is we wrote a mail, asking for suggestions from the email list what we had collected. So most of them said we are good to go in the month of June. And then due to certain other conditions in the US, most of our emails were not opened, were not read. Basically, that's how I would put it. Maybe certain conditions did not materialize that time. So that's how it went. The email list did not fire up when we wanted it to.
When it came to the pricing, it seemed though that people, when they came to the page, they were willing to back it, right? So
Yes.
in terms of, like, it's more of a premium product, right? It's more of a upper tier echelon kind of a really nice looking watch. Do you have any thoughts on, like, what worked to sell such a premium product?
Okay. See, basically, there are a couple of watches. You have a product which can be categorized into a different segment in terms of pricing and quality and all that stuff. So, as you rightly said, as a premium watch with certain qualities. Maybe we were very innovative in our approach in terms of the dial. Okay, if you talk about the features, we have a different kind of a dial when you look at other dials. It's got ridges on it, and it's got some kind of texture, and the helium escape valve is there, and then you have those rings on the dial, which is also a depth gauge. The way it works is when you go underwater, your eye loses certain qualities to identify a color. So the first color which your eye doesn't recognize is red at around 15 feet. So this is basically in that way. We thought we could make a watch which is more utilitarian rather than a kind of fancy and fashionable thing. But it should serve a purpose. Wearing something should actually bring a lot of value and meaning to it. So that was my intention. And yes, this is an upper segment premium kind of a watch. We had to compete with a lot of people in this. We are competing because people usually troll us. Troll in the sense, they compare your product with others and they ask what is so great about it, so that we should pay $600, $650. That's a huge amount of money. I understand that. This is a Swiss-made product. 60% of the value comes from Switzerland. When I talk about it, to call a Swiss-made, a watch Swiss-made, 60% of the total value of the watch should be from Switzerland. So that's how it is.
Yeah, it looks very elegantly designed, very durable, right? That's the problem. Is you get like a nice flashy watch, and then like you can't wear it for super long, and it ends up breaking, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
When it comes to the campaign, were you doing anything else in the way of like messaging in forums or social media groups or anything like that?
Yes, sir. Now we have, in fact, we have started working with a crowdfunding agency probably from the last couple of days. They just set up the ads and all that stuff. It is yet to work. We started off yesterday itself. So apart from that, we are putting all the information in forums, and there are a couple of people who are promoting it as well. So that's where it stands. The quality, sorry. I was just about to tell you, the quality also matters. No matter whatever promotion you do, at the end of the day, the quality, the pricing has to be right. Otherwise, you are not going to be successful the second time. People have an eye on you always.
Yeah, definitely. What was your response like from other people in your network when you told them you were doing a Kickstarter campaign? Like, was that something they were familiar with at all?
Yeah. See, I got this idea from a friend of mine. He gave me a lot of advice. He's also a watch brand owner. We were talking about it, and that's how it is.
Okay. And when you started to introduce this, like, did you share this on your own social media and stuff? Like, were people at all skeptical or anything like that?
No, people were not skeptical. It's not that people doubted the kind of price point of what we were quoting. But then again, the quality and features also matter, because if you look at some established brands with the same kind of specifications, they are quoting closer to $1,000, $1,200. That's how it is.
I know
those are all established brands, but we can't do that, right? We are just starting out, and we have to give the best quality at a very reasonable price.
Yeah. I noticed you got onto a lot of media publications, like you're on Watch Time, Chronotics, the Wristwatch Review. How'd you get on so many awesome publications?
Okay, basically, I see this whole thing started around 6 to 8 months back. Okay, there was a lot of preparations for this, so I had to reach out to everybody, and then I had to say that we have this watch, and they were very obliging. They helped me a lot. All these publications, most of them you could see it on the campaign page, and we have our article there, and some of them have really appreciated the watch. In fact, many of them gave us advice also that you need to change this, which is that, and all. Since this is a prototype, we are comfortable doing that. Whatever is good for the product and makes the customer, the backer, like it, we will definitely change it and give it to them.
So you would recommend definitely creating prototypes and sort of sending them out to these influencers and such, so that they can actually review it.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So basically, when you send out a prototype, you are talking to a lot of experts. Okay, so when they wear the watch, they have their own opinions and they express it to you. And you have to have an open mind, right? Because they are telling something for your own good. I mean, if you want to stay in the business for a long time, you need to hear people talk, and then you should, you take those points and make a note of it, and then start working on it to better the watch. That's how it is.
How long were you working on this project before you unveiled it on Kickstarter?
Okay, we started working on this project in 2018. Honestly, that
Wow.
was when that was when the first prototype came up, uh, and we had a meeting with the manufacturers and all. That I had certain ideas which had to be implemented, so we did the second prototype. That was done in 2019 because creating a watch, making a watch takes at least around 6 months because these are you need to design and you need to the factory has to get a mold done for it and then start manufacturing. So minimum 3 to 6 months is what we need
Yeah.
from the design table to a finished product.
Yeah, and then of course there's all the getting the marketing materials together, making it look nice and pretty, and all those kinds of things.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So after the watch was manufactured, when we received it, we had to do a lot of photo shoots, as you can see the video as well. Then after that, we had to do a photo shoot of the watch, and then no matter how good it is, if it doesn't look good on your screen, mobile screen, or your laptop or whatever it is, I mean, people aren't going to buy it.
Do you think you would have done anything differently for those in the audience that are just like now about to launch a campaign? They're wondering like what should they do in order to maximize and get funding the way you did? Like, would you have done anything differently? Are you looking for help with the fulfillment side of your rewards on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or any other crowdfunding website? Fulfillrite is literally the gold standard when it comes to crowdfunding reward fulfillment. These guys will help you ship out your products, your packages, your orders to all of your customers and your backers. They've been working in this industry for a really long time. I totally vouch for their services, and they'll even do things like answer simple questions for you on fulfillment and shipping and figuring out how to get your products into the hands of your customers in the easiest way possible. If you're interested in learning more about them, you can go to fulfillrite.com or crowdcrux.com/fulfillrite, and that will take you to them. Again, that is FULFILLRITE.com.
No, nothing different, but everything went according to plan. The only thing, as I told you earlier, that the email list which we created, I mean, which we got, did not fire up at the right time.
So basically having more qualified leads like that join the list.
Absolutely. Yes. You should have very qualified leads. You need to spend a lot of money on your Facebook ads to get those leads. You can get leads as low as $1.5, but it doesn't convert sometimes.
Yes, it's almost more important if you got someone who is, willing to buy the product at a bit of a higher price for that lead. Like that makes a lot more sense to me than getting just a bunch of people who aren't interested in buying, right? But you have a big number on the email list.
Absolutely. The quality is what matters, not the quantity. I mean, you have a list of 1,000 subscribers who are you have a conversion of around 20%, 30% on that. That's really good, rather than having 4,000 and having 10% conversion. That's what I feel.
So man, you go from like running a really great company and you're working with Fortune 500 clients to now launching a whole new watch brand. Like, this is an entirely different industry for you. Like, what makes you passionate about it?
Okay, basically, when I was very small, right? I mean, when I was very young, I used to see my grandfather's watch. I used to see the sweeping hands, and it had a citizen movement. That was when it all started. Even now, when I look at that watch, I say, okay, Grandpa, give it to me. I'm ready to take it. So that's how it is. That is what made me. Get
Inspired,
attracted
yeah.
to the timepieces. Yes.
It's one of those things you don't really think about until you look back on your memories, right? And
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. I mean, there are small little things around us which you can make, you can really monetize, and you can make a good product out of. You just need to search and have the right thing.
Do you have any advice on assembling a team? Because it seems like you're pretty good at that in your own career, right? You have to have a team of people around you. Do you have any advice on like that or on leadership?
Um, okay. See, basically, a leader is someone who listens to others. I mean, he doesn't impose uh, anything, his ideas on others and say that okay, this is correct and this is wrong and all that stuff. He needs to listen. See, when I started this watch thing stuff, I was very new to it. I mean, I just wanted to do something unique and something new because I have been doing recruitment for the last 20 years. It was kind of boring, talking to the same leaders and hiring the same people, talking to the same hiring managers and all. So I wanted to I want to do something innovative and all that stuff. So that's how it started. And when I started out, when I started speaking to the experts of the manufacturing units and the assembly teams in Switzerland and all, they started pointing out certain things. Okay, the length of the dial, I mean the length of the hands and this, that, and all those things. If you're not an expert in, if you're not an expert in one field, you need to listen to experts and then learn about it. You can't impose things on them. A leader should be like that. Listening is very important. Listening skill is very, very important.
It seems also like even finding the kids who worked on your video, finding the right talent, right, who are passionate about it.
Yes. See, actually, this guy whom I work with, he's from my church. So my cousin told me, okay, why don't you try this guy? We are all from the same school and college, and we passed out in video editing and all that stuff. We have graduated from this college and stuff like that. So I said, okay, fine. I would like to meet you guys, and then it's all started. Yeah, a bunch of youngsters, so I want to give them a chance and see how they're going to do it. But it came out exceptionally well. That's a talent, basically.
What do you think are some of the like one or two of the biggest mistakes people make when they're trying to find talent? Because I mean, you do that for a living, right?
Yes.
What do you think is a big mistake that people make there?
In finding talent?
Yeah, in finding and hiring talent.
Okay. See, basically, you are trying to hire a person just like you, which is not right. Okay, everybody is different, and you need to listen to people. Okay, if I see, I have another colleague of mine who's good in watches. I mean, I have a team. When I started out, I started talking to a friend of mine who I met on Facebook, and I've been talking to him for the last 3 years, and he's also a part of this team. Mm-hmm. And we have to, we gel together. Basically, when I told him that I want to make a watch, he was skeptical and said, "Hey, this is another guy who just wants to make a watch." And when I started, going up to him saying, "Hey, this is the product what I have. This is the thing. What do you think?" And those kind of you don't know where the real talent is. You need to reach out. Okay, you can't. You can't just sit in one place and say the talent comes. You have to go reach out to people. I have spoken to a lot of photographers. I spoke to a lot of videographers. I mean, people who can make this kind of video. You will not believe that I have spoken to around 4-5 photographers. I went to their studios. I wanted to see what is the equipment they're using and all this stuff. I have spent a lot of time on that. And finally, I ended up with a guy who's really good, who's been doing photography from the last 18, 19 years. He's pretty good, and he's done it. And the same thing. And what happens is, it is not that a bigger company makes good videos. It is just that, whoever comes to you and with a good script and who says, okay, we can do this, that is what matters. That's what I feel.
What stands out to me is you have a very focused attention to detail, where you're actually going up there kind of not micromanaging, but like you're going and seeing the kind of equipment that the people are using, and you're seeing the products of their work, and like you're really getting your hands dirty,
Yes. So actually, for example, I was this video was shot in the midnight, say from 10 in the night up till 5 in the morning. Okay, for 3 days. Mm-hmm. And I was there sitting with those guys. It was a garage, and we used all equipment. We used a Sony A4, Sony A3, and all that cameras and all stuff, and Panasonic cameras and all. So I had to sit there and tell them, okay, whenever there was one shot ready, he used to show me, okay, this is how it is going to be. The next shot is going to be like this. So a lot of editing happened, and the video came out really good. That's what I feel. And the same thing with the photography also. I mean, the photo shoot also took a lot of time. We sat in the night and did a lot of editing and photo enhancements and all that.
When you're thinking about your brand, I mean, it obviously stands out with being quality, and it looks really cool. Do you think at all about like the values behind the company? Is that something that you like, the mission that you want to have with this company?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, what I want to see, a brand should speak the quality which you are giving to the customers. Okay, you shouldn't look at, okay, I'm going to make so much of profit, I'm going to make so much of money, and then I'm going to have a lifestyle like this. No, it doesn't work that way. The quality brings money to your table, basically. So that's what I've learned in my 19 years of recruitment experience. When you give a qualified candidate, people start noticing you, and they say, okay, I want to work with this agency, I want to work with this guy, he's good in headhunting, he's good in this. So the brand AUDRIC, it should only signify quality, affordability, and utilitarian kind of a watches, those kind of qualities. It shouldn't be, oh, these guys are just hyping up things with nothing in stuff and all that. That is not right.
I think this is kind of one of the few times in the history where we actually now have a lot of new watch brands emerging. Like you have like Vincero and like Movement watches, and like,
Yes, sir.
these guys who are bringing really great products to the world, whereas usually it's like
Absolutely.
Fossil, right? And like
Yes.
Gucci or, all these other brands that I don't even pay attention to Timex, like, and stuff like that. But I notice all of these people on my Instagram feeds or on my Facebook feeds with these kinds of watches, and I get interested.
Yes, sir.
So I think it's a really good time that you're doing this, and I think it's awesome the way that you're also going about it here. Do you have any plans when it comes to the next like 19 days? Do you have any stretch goals or anything like that?
Yes, we do have stretch goals. Once we cross 100K, we want to give the backers a free NBR strap. That is a silicon rubber strap. It's a very high quality strap. And then when we cross 150K, we want to give them an anti scratch coating, which is see, this is a premium product, and when you wear these kind of products, you tend to swing your arms and touch a table or something, and then you have a scratch on that. It hurts a lot when you pay $600 and you have a scratch on the watch, right? So we want to give them an anti-scratch coating free of cost, which protects the watch for minor scratches and all that stuff. So that is what we have in store. So from 100, we want to give them a good rubber strap, and then 150, we will give them an anti-scratch coating for all the backers. We're not charging anything for that. And the third stretch goal is basically a top grade movement. It's got certain qualities compared to the ones what we are giving. What we are giving is a premium movement, and the second, more complex than that in terms of pricing and the timekeeping capabilities is a top grade movement. So which we would be giving that to them. That is, of course, we are charging $100 for that because that is very, very expensive. And the third one is fourth one is a meteorite dial. Meteorite is a stone, natural stone, right? Meteorite. So that we are making dials out of it.
Nice,
Dials.
nice.
Yeah, that's a stone.
So my favorite, I'm looking here. I really like the Thunder Gray. I think that looks cool.
Okay.
Wine Red looks really neat too. Where can people go to learn more about the project?
Okay, they can write to me. Whenever they write a message, I respond back to them with my email ID and whatever conversation they want to have. I'm always available 24/7.
Okay.
And that's how it is. And some of them I came back to me and said that, okay, can you give me some kind of micro adjustments on the buckle and all that? Yeah, we are open for it. In fact, we have our supply is ready with the replacement buckle also, and we can give that to them. And we are also working on the weight of the watch. We are working with the designer in Switzerland, and he has said that we can reduce the weight of the watch by doing this, the thickness of the watch. So anything to better the quality and the look and feel of the watch, we are ready to do that. I mean, there's no stepping back.
For those that are interested, it's AUDRIC. Is that how I pronounce it right?
Yes, AUDRIC means wise ruler, and that's the name of my son.
That's nice. That's awesome. Wise ruler. AUDRIC SeaBorne. You can go and check that out. AUDRIC. Check that out on Kickstarter. You can learn more about the watch. You can also see some of the other versions that are there. I'd love if we could just sort of end on this note. If you could maybe pass on from your extensive experience with business, either a bit of advice, a tip, a word of encouragement for other people out there that are just now doing their first company and doing their first product. Do you have any advice for them? And we can end on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. So when I started out in this, thinking about it is, I told it to my family members, and they said, "Hey, come on, what you're on a different line. You're into recruitment. You've been doing this all your life, 19 years. I mean, why do you want to start something new?" So you have to look at various options, right? I mean, you have a dream, work towards it. I mean, people talk X, Y, Z, it doesn't matter. I mean, you work towards it, get in touch with the right guys, learn the product well before you could even start doing it. You know your audiences, spend a lot of time on your pre-launch activities, plan it properly in terms of what you're going to do, what is the pricing, talk to your customers. Look in forums and Facebook groups and all that. You will find a lot of data there. I mean, you can collect it. You can decipher it, and you can get a lot of information, and then you can start it. No problem. Absolutely. This is no rocket science. There's absolutely no rocket science. Everybody can do it. It's just that you need to have that confidence in you that yes, I can do it, and you're good to go.
Well said. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and good luck with your remaining days here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. My name is Salvador Briggman. If you have not yet joined the community, go to kickstarterforum.org and join my community where you can learn about not only how to launch a campaign, but also interact with other people and share a bit of your message when it comes to running your crowdfunding campaign. You can share some updates, you can promote, etc. Kickstarterforum.org is a great place to do that. And in addition, if you want to book a one-on-one coaching call with me, you can go to crowdcrux.com/coaching and you can sign up there, and you'll become, if you want to, you can book an hour-long intensive coaching call. So with that link, you basically just have to share a little bit of information with me about your project, what you're trying to raise money for, what you're doing in terms of your goals, and like all that kind of stuff that goes into a project. This is an intensive hour-long call where we will spend lots and lots of time personally going over your specific project and how you want to go about getting this thing launched. If you also want to work with me, you can find out a little bit about that at the end of the coaching call. But I've really designed these to be helpful in general when it comes to the entire hour-long session. So if you never booked a coaching call before, no worries. This is something that's new for a lot of people. I think coaches are very helpful when you don't know something when it comes to launching a campaign, or you're really looking for a little bit more clarity and structure, and you really just want someone who's like in the room that really knows what they're doing, right? And I can really help you like say, no, you shouldn't be focusing on these things, you should be focusing on this, and really narrow your focus and clarify what you got to be doing going forward. Again, that link is crowdcrux.com/coaching, crowdcrux.com/coaching, crowdcrux.com/coaching. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you immensely. We would not be here without you and listeners just like you who are tuning in every single episode that we release. And it means so much to me that also you get a little bit of value out of every single episode that we put out that you can apply to your project and hopefully have a successful campaign much more quickly than you anticipated. Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Sal, and I'll see you next time.